Welcome guys, this is Wise Nerd, and today we'll be talking about how to read comics. I wanted to upload this as my first video because when I began reading comics nobody told me how to do it, and when I found the answer it was like finding my first treasure. And that's what I'm going to do right now. People usually say that comics are complicated and boring, that it is better to watch the movies and the TV shows. Don't get me wrong, the movies and TV shows are super cool and they are one of the reasons why I created this channel. But comics are the source material. They are the real reason why we have the TV shows and movies and all of the things that we like. And also because companies want money. I know lots of you are thinking that reading comics is boring, and it is not that way, because when you read comics it isn't like books, because in books and novels you have to imagine the scenarios and process the message that the author wants to give us. Instead of doing that in comics, you just have to appreciate the art and comprehend the story that sometimes can be difficult to process, but it is very funny at the end. Well, let's begin our first quest. The definition of comics by Wikipedia says that it is a medium used to express ideas by still images, often combined with text or other visual information. People generally say that comics are for kids and just silly ideas, but if you dig a little bit more about comics, some of them aren't silly but really complex. The answer that I found after I started reading comics is: pick up your favorite fictional character that you know is in the comics. Then, think about your favorite comic book genre and search in Google the best comic books about that character. That's kinda simple. And that's the way I did started reading comics, and it worked out really well. Now, there's a problem. If you want to read about Batman, Darth Vader, or the Avengers, there's a lot of content, and it can be really overwhelming. So this is what I did. First, look for the volumes or graphic novels of that character, and then search more about what stories does that comic have, and if you like it, you buy it. The last problem, it can be that you want to read the story of that character from the beginning, and there are many characters that don't have a whole comic book about its origins, so what I recommend is the universe reboots and the volumes. Now, here I'll present you some examples. The first character I'm bringing to you is the Batman, our favorite vigilante and detective. If you want to begin reading the story of this complex mind, here you got 3 comic books that will make your life easier. First is Batman Year One, the origin story about Batman. It is a great story, it has great characters, and I won't spoil you more. Then you got Batman The Dark Knight Returns, the ending story, the final story of this character. You have to read Batman The Dark Knight Returns first, then Batman The Dark Knight Strikes Again, and when you finish those books, you have to read Batman Master Race, and that's the definitive ending for now of this story. And if you want to know more about his relationship with Robin, you have to read Batman Dark Victory. Now, the second character I'm bringing to you is Vader. If you want to know more about what happened between the episode 4 and 5 and the episode 3 and 4, these comics will be really useful for you. I won't say anything else because these comic books are just amazing. You have to read them. The first one is Vader Volumes by Kieron Gillen, 2015-2016, and the actual volumes of Charles the Soule, Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith. Now, last but not least, if you're a fan of Wonder Woman, you have to read these comics. Wonder Woman Vol. 1, Origins by Renee DeLise. This comic is amazing. And if you want to know more about her backstory, you have to read Wonder Woman Rebirth, volumes by Greg Rucka. This won't be the only video about comics. I'll be talking about these characters and their comic books later. See you on the next edition. of Let's Talk About. This is your host, Wise Nerd. Like and subscribe on Nerds on a Quest to become a legendary nerd. Thank you.